Hey, it's me Ganjoli, Bisay Reader. Welcome to another video. And feels so great to be able to say this after being gone from the channel for more than a year, I guess. I think the last time I uploaded a bookish content was still back in first month of 2024. And a lot of things have happened after that. And yeah, I just don't want to talk about that on this video. Maybe on the future videos we'll discuss those if you want. But for now, as what the title said, I'll be sharing with you the books I got this Christmas. And I just figure out that on my comeback video, the best content is just going to be a book haul, because I know all of you love to see other people, other readers, spend their money on books that they will probably not read, and you find it fun. But anyway, just a disclaimer, some of these books I didn't spend. I got this as gifts, and some of them I bought for myself, because that's what Christmas is all about, to receive and to give yourself a gift, right? I mean, what's an excuse? That's a great excuse to spend money on books, just to justify our expenses. Anyway, we'll get going. The first book I got is actually I bought for myself. Is what I'm currently reading. It's The Maniac by Benjamin Labatut. Labatu? I don't know. I got this from Fully Book, and I was eyeing this since last year. I almost bought this from Amazon US, but decided not to because it was expensive that time. And then I forgot about this book. And then fast forward the year after, I saw this. Just, I was just strolling, no plans to buy. I usually do that. I go to bookstores and then just do window shopping and not buy. And that's some kind of my stress reliever. So that day when I went to Fully Book's SMC side, I was just browsing the shelves, checking what are new titles, and I stumbled into this one. And that time I was just doing my best not to spend, so I did not buy it. I didn't buy it the first time I got it, and then few weeks after I went on vacation, I went back to Cebu again, visited again for another window shopping and Fully Booked Ayala, and I saw this one again. So I took that as a sign that maybe this one is really for me. It's the last copy, and yeah, I just jumped right into it and got it. And besides, it's like 5 days before Christmas, so yeah. And to be honest, I don't really have a very concrete premise what this book is all about. The main reason why I was eyeing this because this has been recommended to me multiple times, and they said that this is written beautifully. It's a mix of fiction and fiction, and Benjamin Labatot is an awesome writer that might probably fits my taste. So there's probably around 4 people on Instagram who recommended this to me, so I trust them, so I got this for myself. So here we are, and currently on page 7. So I don't know what to tell about what to say about this book so far, because I think it's unfair for me to comment on its quality after just reading 7 pages. I'll let it know. It's a lot of time for the first book. Well, I'll do it quicker. I'll be quicker on the second one. In Memoriam by Alice Wynn. I got this also for myself from Fully Booked Seaside, and I purchased this first time I saw this. It's an only copy, and unlike the Maniac where I first saw it, I did not buy it. This one, when I saw it, I without hesitation I purchased it on one of those window shopping events. I've been eyeing this. Danny, my friend from Instagram, uh, he was the one who introduced this to me a couple of months ago, and then that time there's still this hardcover edition. If you saw the cover, it's like a dome in black cover. It's a hard cover, and then this one was released on Amazon paperback, and we fell in love with the aesthetic of the cover, with this paper and this man reminds me of Tin Man, and we eyed this, and Danny got this one for himself, and I was like, oh, maybe I should wait for it to arrive in the Philippines, and then I forgot about it again, and months after it showed up, and I saw it, and I bought it. And this is an LGBTQIA literary fiction. I've read this. This is the book I took with me in the vacation back in first week of December. Read a couple of pages back then, and then to make the long story short, I posted the review on my Instagram at Bisaya Reader Bookstagram, and gave this 3.5 stars. This is one of my most disappointing reads. It doesn't feel literary. It felt more like fun fiction, but I've been eyeing this for a while now. There's a lot of hype in this book, and I totally understand why. So yeah, um, just manage your expectations if you're going to read this. The next book I got for myself, I'll start with these ones first. The bottom. Blood Over the Bright Haven by Emma Wang. Her second book. I don't know, her or him. It's author's second book. I discovered the author from Sword of Kaigan, the author's debut novel. And this is the second one, standalone fantasy, which is great because I'm not into fantasies right now that are a series, because I think those are supporting capitalism, toxic capitalism anyway. This one still supports capitalism, but just, the degree of variation when just buying a single book compared to buying multiple books because you need to, because you started the series and now you have to finish it and then buy the rest of it. It's absurd. But thank God for standalone fantasy. And this is, spoiler alert, made it to my all-time, not all-time, the best books I've read last year. I have read 61 books and I rated 17 5 stars. This is one of those 17 books. I'll be posting a wrap-up of the 17 books. I already posted actually on Bisaya Reader on TikTok, in case you want to check my list. I ranked them from 1 to 17. It's all over there. I'm planning to film again and post it here on Instagram. Oh, sorry, on YouTube. But this one is such a great standalone fantasy, great magic system. The characters were limited but well developed. The plot isn't isn't new, but it was well executed. It was controlled. It was well paced, and I just love the magic system. It was something that were I just was trying to reflect over this book. Like, this is a book that I could have written when I was in high school or in college, because I had this similar idea of the magic system back then. It is such an entertaining book. It has a lot of commentaries on social issues that are relevant and timely right now, just like gender inequality, class discrimination, etc. Read this one. Such a great book, and it's a standalone fantasy. Next books I got for myself, I got this from National Bookstore. Their sale were buy four for 1,000. You'll get one book free. Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. It's a mouthful of titles. By Benjamin Alera. Of course, you've heard about Aristotle and Dante discover the secret of the universe. It's a standalone LGBTQIA contemporary fiction for young adults years ago. And who would have thought there will be a sequel? I got actually angry when I heard this 2 years ago or 3 years ago that the author is writing a sequel for that phenomenal, one of my best young adult contemporary LGBTQIA book I've read in my entire life. Then that's the reason why I didn't purchase a copy. But then when I saw this for 200 pesos plus on National Bookstore and hardcover edition, I just have to grab it and give it a chance. That's why it's here. So I don't know what the story is all about. All I know is I love the first book, and I hope I'll love this as much as I did, but even I love this more than the first book. The next book I got, together with the time when I purchased this, for again 200 plus pesos. It's The Gleanings by Neal Shusterman. This is a blessing of the universe to me. It's like the universe is giving me a Christmas gift, subtly. Because The Gleanings by Neal Shusterman is a collection of short stories in this universe where Sight, Thunderhead, and The Toll happened. I love the trilogy, the young adult science fiction trilogy. I was obsessed with those series way back in 2009 because, just a moment, let me just get the name. Let's go. In case you haven't heard how great these series are, like, this is so great that one of my cat I named Tolliver. Tool, Tolliver. This is the first book, Sight. Thunderhead. Like, Thunderhead is probably one of my all-time favorite young adult book ever. And The Toll, the third and final one. And look how perfect these four are when they're put all together. This one is a collection of short stories of, I don't know, like stories before the first book, stories between the series or after the series. I still haven't read this, but I'm excited that I'll get to meet a younger version of my favorite character, probably. Faraday, Curie. Anyway, this book is a dystopian fantasy science fiction where there are these sites who are tasked to kill people because people already discovered immunity from death, so they are immortal. So in order to control the world's population, there's these people Sight can take away lives, and so basically they are one of the most powerful individuals in this dystopian world. And two of our main characters, young adults, dreamed to be his Sight, and the story started with them training and applying for the Sight. And they're being mentored by two of the greatest Sights ever, Faraday and Curie. Sight Curie is one of the best characters who's ever written in any adult books. And this one, The Gleanings, are stories from the Arc of Sight. I don't know what the stories are, but I'm excited. And again, this is your site to read the Arc of Sight trilogy because it is such a phenomenal science fiction young adult books. The next books, the remaining books that I'm going to share with you in this video are books I got as a gift. And I posted a video also on this one on my TikTok. In case you're wondering why I was gone on YouTube for almost a year, I transferred to TikTok. I've been creating shorter videos because I've been really busy and I just don't really have time to film longer videos and do some edits until now. In case you haven't noticed, this video is just going to be one take, and it's going to give me or save me a lot of time in editing because I hate editing and don't really have time to them. It's just now that I have time because I'm still not busy in the office yet. Even though we're back in the office, we still have that luxury of time to slack and talk about books and do things like this. This one I got as a gift from Marlo when he did me a challenge to purchase all the books I love in 3 minutes. Initially it started as choose three books, purchase them in 15 minutes rather. And then he's going to buy them for me as his gift. And then to make the long story short, instead of 3, he bought me 6. He gave me 6 books. So one of those 6 books I got is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This is a non-fiction. I am a graduate of Masters in Health Professional Education from UP Manila back in 2000, pre-pandemic. I don't want to talk about my age. And I've been in the industry from pharmacy to instructional design for 5 years now. It changed my life. I fell in love with instructional design. And as an instructional designer and currently as a learning consultant, I heard this from my colleagues multiple times. The Thinking Fast and Slow, this is exploring learners, types of learners like type 1 and type 2, why are there a pandemic of type 1 learners or type 2 learners, and how can we address that? So I think it's really relevant to my profession right now as a learning consultant to read on the context that this book has for me to better myself on my job. So that's the reason why I got this, and I'm excited to read this in part of my growth in 2025. And yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, Marlon. Next one I got for the challenge Marlon gave me is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. I've been eyeing this since mid 2024, and I was just turned off by the author's face on the cover because I'm not a fan of that. I hate covers with faces of real people I don't care if you're the author or I don't know if you look really good, but you know what I mean, right? I don't know. I hope you hate these types of books too. But again, I wanna explore Buddhism this year and the wisdom behind Buddhism. And I've heard that this one is very accessible. This is a great read to just really have a glimpse of what Buddhism is and then probably learn and then just try to decide if you're really into it, then probably read more Buddhism stuff after. So that's the reason why I picked this, and yeah, I'm excited to read this one also. I've heard great things about Jay. He's also a influencer rather. Social media. I saw his some social media post on Facebook a couple of years ago, so I'm pretty familiar in his context and what he's sharing. So yeah, and also the reviews were great. Were great. Next book I'm going to share with you is I got this also part of the challenge from Marlo. I can read the Berenstain Bears 5 Way We Go Adventures. It's a 5 books in one. This is my first time seeing a compilation of Berenstain Bears books. There's 5 of them. Again, in case you don't know me, you can browse on my. Let me just gisipon ko. Anyway, sorry about that. It's flu season. Where are we? Couple when I started BookTube, and then there was like ask me some questions. What do you want to ask me? I'll answer them on the vlog, etc. Bookish questions. He said how one of those questions I can still remember is how did I discover or when did I start reading? And I told them the very first books that made me fall in love reading are the Berenstain Bears that I got from my Lola back in the US, and she's just sending it in packages. And these are like tiny books, like for young readers. Like they're just around 20 pages, 25 pages, and just full of illustration, just like this. Imagine you're 2 years old, 5 years old, sorry, 5 or 6 years old or 4, and you're reading this awesome books. That's what I did when I was young, and I had this awesome pile of collection of Berenstain Bears that I don't know where now. I lost them. I was too young to secure those copies, but they just bring back a lot of memories and nostalgia. So when I saw this during the challenge, I just cannot not pick this. It is such a joy to finally have a Berenstain Bears book in my shelves, because if you can see all of these books out here on my back, none of those a single one copy of a Berenstain Bears book. So I have mine on a thicker one, on a compilation one, not the OG small ones, but I'll probably look for those, especially my favorite one is No Girls Allowed. I don't know if you're into Berenstain Bears. Yeah. Next book I got from the challenge as a gift from Marlo is James by Percival Everett. This is probably one of those books that most of the YouTubers or bookstagrammers that is part of their all-time best books read last year. This one is very high. Probably it is a finalist in National Book Award. Probably the winner. Booker Prize, shortlisted for Booker Prize, didn't win, but it was part of the shortlist. A lot of people were rooting this up to people were raving this. I read this already. This is actually the first book I finished this year. Book number 1. I started reading this the end of the 2024. I finished it 2025, so technically it's a 2025 book. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I can totally see why people love this, but it was not really for me. Even though it's a great book still. 4 is still a great book. It's not an average, it's average 3. This one is a good book. It wasn't that great as what I was hearing. But one thing is really I'm good at, what I really appreciate on this one is the writing style of Percival Everett. There's something about his writing style that just hooks you, that makes the book very readable, that makes you read it really fast and then engage you and then immerse you in the world. That's what I noticed from this one. So yeah, such a great book, but just a 4 out of 5. In order for me to be a 5, it needs to tug my heart. It needs to leave an impression. This one took me into a journey, gave me a lot of commentaries on racism, of course, and then other violence, etc. But there's something lacking. I don't know. You just really feel it. You feel it. It's very relative. You know what I mean? When it's a 5-star book, you know it's a 5-star book. You don't really have to justify a non-5-star book to be a 5-star book, because the moment that you justify it's a 5-star book, it is not a 5-star book. You know what I mean? So this one, as much as I want to make this a 5-star book, it doesn't feel right. I don't really feel it. So it's a 4. But there's nothing wrong about this. It's just, you know what I mean? Anyway, we're down to the last two. This fifth one is the Komogawa Food Detectives. That is also from the challenge as a gift from Ronro. And this actually, I did not choose this. I was browsing. If you check the video on TikTok, I was browsing on this one, and then last minute while we were paying in the counter, he was paying on the counter. He added this in the pile and said, "Oh, you forgot to choose a book with a cat." So yeah, because in the previous years he gave me books with cats on it, like If Cats Disappeared in Her World, I Am a Cat, the Traveling Cats Chronicles, which is one of the greatest Japanese literature with cats on the cover that I've read in my entire life. That one made me cry. Haven't read the Traveling Cats Chronicle, read it. Anyway, this one, I don't know what this book is all about. He's got this, added it in the pile, and bought this for me because he wants me to read a Japanese literature with a cat on it. So that's why it's here. And the last one, I got his Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. He's the author of The Road. The main reason why I purchased this because I'm a big fan. In case you don't know, The Road is one of my all-time favorite book, and I am a big fan of Cormac McCarthy, and I've heard that this one is one of his greatest work. It's even better than the Road, even though there are different plots, totally different book, but this one is his best yet. So that's why I read. So I want to read this. So excited to read this also. Probably after the Maniac, I'll pick this. We'll see how the Maniac goes, and I'll read Cormac McCarthy. I don't know what this book is all about because I just picked this because of the author, and I know you also do that. So here are the books I got for the month of December 2024, and I consider this as my Christmas book haul. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for welcoming me back here on YouTube. It's me and Joel. Happy New Year, belated Merry Christmas, and wish me luck on my half marathon race this weekend. Bye bye.